Bill O'Reilly weighed in on why he thinks Republicans love Trump. Let's watch.
Well, it's no surprise that Trump won in Florida. Marco Rubio is an interesting guy. I think he'll be back, but he's done for now. And I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if he makes an announcement that he's suspending his campaign. The reason I think Trump won in Florida is because he comes across as more authoritarian, not authoritative. Authoritarian. And I was thinking about this all day today. What happened to Rubio? I'm not so sure Rubio did anything wrong. It's that he just couldn't overcome the perception that many Republican voters have that you need somebody from the outside, number one, to punish the Republican establishment, but more importantly, to take it to Hillary Clinton. I think the turning point in this race for Trump was when he attacked both Hillary and Bill Clinton a few months ago when they started the sexist stuff, and he just laid them out. I think a lot of people saw that and said, you know what? This guy can punish as well as win. And in this angry age, voters want a punishment along with a victory.
That is quite an admission from Big Bill O'Reilly. He's like, yeah, Republican voters love Trump because he's an authoritarian. What? Of course. He says it as if, nonchalant, casual, like, of course. He's right, and, the of course angle of it is also right, but, shouldn't that be a bigger deal to people? Like, hey, wait a second, they love him because he's a strong man. I mean, a strong man is characteristic of tyrannies, dictatorships, fascist leaders. And he's like, yeah, no, that's the thing. He's super strong, authoritarian. He even said they think he's authoritarian, which is why they like him. Not authoritative, authoritarian. So he's saying, no, this goes beyond and above, something like saying he's a strong leader. This goes beyond saying he's confident. This goes beyond arrogance. This is authoritarian. Punish! You must punish those I disagree with. Yes, yes. Well, thanks, Bill. That was a rare, honest moment from Bill O'Reilly, talking about the true nature of what your Republican-based voter is like. But I think he's right, but I would actually say there are other reasons, too, that explain Trump's rise and why he's doing so well. And one of the things is actually maybe even worse than what Bill O'Reilly said, and the other one's actually much better and it portrays the Republican voter in a much more positive light. The one that's worse is they also love Trump's bigotry. There are a lot of, middle class and poor white people in the country who feel like they're oppressed, and they scapegoat. They don't know who to blame because they don't know all the ins and outs and the nuance and the detail of our political system and how the donor class has rigged the economy in their favor and against the average person. So they're like, I don't know, I'll blame the Mexicans. I don't know, I'll blame Muslims. I'll blame black people, whatever. So Trump comes along and harnesses that bigotry, and they're like, yes, that guy. He's standing up for me because I'm so oppressed. Now, the thing is, they're right that they're oppressed, but they're wrong about who's doing it. So it's not minorities and people who are perhaps even worse off on the economic ladder than you. It would be the donor class. So they feel like shit and they have no opportunities, but they blame the wrong people, and Trump takes advantage of that. And then also, this is the more positive light that you portray the Republican voters in here with this reason why they like Trump. It's the pseudo-populism. So yeah, they mix in the bigotry and these people do scapegoat the wrong people, but they also just hear what Trump is saying about trade deals and hear what he's saying about Social Security, and he's the only Republican candidate who's like, yeah, I'm not going to do any more bullshit trade deals. They're bullshit. He says, we lost so many factory jobs. He always talks about Carrier, the air conditioning company, going to Mexico. He's like, I'd force them to stay here. He says, I'm not going to cut Social Security. You paid into it. You're just getting back what you're owed. First of all, these are liberal positions. Second of all, the Republican-based voter doesn't know that they're liberal positions, but they hear him talk and they go, that guy's for me. He's looking out for me. He wants to keep my job here. They took our jobs and he wants to keep them here. So they look at that and they go, that's another reason I like him. So Bill O'Reilly's wrong if he's trying to say, and I don't know if this is what he means, but if it's it's only because he's authoritarian, which is why he's leading. No, that's a part of it. They like the strongman leader and the over-the-top bravado and confidence and arrogance and the authoritarian nature of him. They also like the sprinkle in of the bigotry and the xenophobia and the intolerance. And then they also love the populism. They think it's genuine populism. We know it's pseudo-populism and faux populism because, Trump himself ships out jobs. He has his ties made in China as he rips China every other sentence. So, he's lying to you, but they don't know that. So they're on his side. And this is another reason why the media has been so shitty all along this entire time. If they did their job, Trump would have a 0% chance of winning. Because they don't know how to highlight the right things. Like, how big of a story is it if this guy rips trade deals all the time, but he benefits from them endlessly? He ships so many jobs out of the country. And his position is, when I do it, it's okay, but I'm going to stop everybody else from doing it. That's hypocrisy. If the media focused on that endlessly, they'd be like, you trust this guy? He says he hates China. His fucking ties are made there. This is bullshit. If the media knew how to focus on the right things, they would tear him down, but they don't know how to focus on the right things. Instead, they rip him for his naughty language, which only makes people line up behind him more because they go, yeah, he's not politically correct. He talks like I talk. And the media's like, oh, you said the word pussy or fuck. Oh, I cannot believe this. And people wonder why he's winning for all those reasons and more.